Hi everyone, this is Danielle, also known as Gently Smiling Jaws, and welcome to my Flosstube. This one may be a short one. Just recording this not long before Christmas, and I'm hoping that sometime soon I can do a whip parade, maybe for my next Flosstube, because I'm hoping that over the holidays I may have some time to sit down and record a longer video, or maybe I'll have to record it in sections. We'll see. I don't have too much stitching to share today, but I do have a few things. Right after I filmed my last Flosstube, in which I said things were starting to calm down with my job and life and all that, and I was getting ready to slowly get back to usual. I believe it was the day after I recorded that there was a wrench thrown in the works, so things are still a bit chaotic, but hopefully settling down eventually. But all is good, just still not quite where I'd like it to be, but we'll get there. So since my last Flosstube, the first thing that I focused on was getting the other crochet blanket completely finished. And part of the reason that I'm recording this right now is that I need to wrap those blankets, but I kind of wanted to show or partially show them on this video, and I can't really wrap them until I've shown them. So they're both corner to corner. The second one, the sort of tealish color one, in my last video I had finished the main part of the blanket, excuse me, and I just had the border to do. So I did the border, got them both washed and everything, and I just need to wrap them. So this is the gray one. I'm not quite as happy with the border on this one. I'm happier with the border that's on the second one. I think it's fine. I was just the other yarn I was using isn't quite as fuzzy as this, and so it was easier to sort of see and make sure I was getting my stitches on the border in, so it was really kind of one-to-one going along. So I feel like that border is neater, but they will serve their purpose. So the gray one, which was done a while ago. And then this is that tealish one, and same type of border, just looking neater on this one. And this one I started earlier. I think I looked back and it might have been in May of this year that I started on it, although it was, kind of slow going. When I was doing it, I wasn't, since, Christmas was so far away, I wasn't putting in a ton of time. There wasn't a strong drive to get it done at that time. But it's done now. And as I've mentioned in my past videos, my original plan was, I'd started this one, and then I had this one that I wanted to do, and there was a third one that I had planned, but as time went on, it became clear that things weren't going to go that direction and materialize. In fact, hang on. Oops. Well, the label on this ripped, but it was the Encore tweed, the Plymouth yarn from Webs. I also have this in this blue tweed. This was what I had planned for the third blanket I wanted to do, and I imagine that it will get done eventually. When, I'm not sure, because again, this one had also been planned as a gift, and as I had talked about, I was going to try not to push myself to do crafts for other people next year, but we'll see. I imagine if I start it, maybe I will start it and very slowly work on it without a without a firm deadline. But yeah, this is my plan for the other one to be gifted to the same folks as getting the gray one. But yes, eventually, but not yet. So, with the crochet projects done, my next kind of drive to get done on a cross stitch project was the Stitchers for Peace by Yasmin's Made with Love. And I had shown what I had done so far on my last video, but I did manage to finish it. Here, let me hold it up on this, and I was hoping that maybe I would be able to actually have this framed in time for this video, but that was not the case. I do think I have a frame on hand that I may be able to use. I just have to kind of decide which one and then actually get it done. And this is on, I'm sure I mentioned it last time, but let me look at this here. This is 46 count winter wren linen by Fox and Rabbit. The floss, other than the white, the floss is all thread gatherer silk that I had in my stash. Let me see if I can get this a little closer here. There we go. I really like the green and the variegation in it, and how that turned out on this. The white is just regular DMC. And while I still think that the contrast between the white and the gray, I wish it was a little more apparent. As time has gone on, I'm fine with it. Yeah. So like I said, I want to get that framed here before too long, but I was glad to get this done. And what else? Oh, one other thing I wanted to mention, and because I can't remember the names of everything offhand and I don't want to get it wrong, I will put it down in the description. But one of the things that I had come across when looking on Instagram was someone who was working on using donated eSIM cards to connect people in Gaza, since trying to communicate there is very difficult right now. And it looked like that in addition to that, they were also going to be trying to do the same thing in places like Sudan, where there's a lot of stuff going on. And I was able to donate a couple eSIM cards, and sometimes they don't get activated right away, and there's various carriers you can go through. There's information on their Instagram page about kind of how to go through the process and get the information to them. But from the ones that I had donated, one was activated fairly quickly. One took a number of days before it was activated. Both are currently activated, and I go in there and check and see, how the data is being used, and I'm trying to top them up when I can. I'm not sure how long, I can keep doing this, financially, but I'm hoping to keep things going. We'll see. But I thought that was an interesting thing to do, because although there are, certainly charities like PCRF, which I have donated to, also this was a way where you obviously don't know who it is on the other end that you're helping, but you can sort of tangibly see that what you have donated is working and giving somebody internet access. So I thought that was interesting and wanted to share, and like I said, I'll put that info in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. So yeah, this was my one finish. Well, if you don't count the blanket was a finish, but this was my cross stitch finish. The other, let me get the information from project bag. So I have it in front of me. So I've got this information here. Oh, and obviously, as you can tell by this, I did not start and finish that other small little cross stitch project that I had planned to do for a gift when I just decided stress of trying to finish something more was not worth it right now, and it was something I didn't need to do, so that could be on hold and done for some future time. So not doing that. But now that I have sort of got my my craft obligations out of the way, or the ones I am, had made myself finish, now I wanted to do more stuff that I wanted to do. So what I'm hoping to do soon, maybe over some of the holiday time off that I have, and then going into the new year as well, there are more things that I want to start. So I think my whip parade will probably also include some things where I have kitted stuff up, and either by that point I may have started some of them, or I will talk about the stuff I have kitted up and plan to start. The one thing that I did start, and I haven't gotten very far, but it was Miriam from Marroomy designs her Sal from, and I hope I'm saying this right, from Yalda to Nowruz. And I've only started on the border, and that's as far as I've gotten. I'm going to do the border in black, partially because I think that will go with whatever I choose to do for the bands. And maybe I'll put in here a screenshot of the border, or where the saddle is at currently, from the time that I'm recording this, because there's the border, and then there's a number of bands, and then the bands are kind of slowly being released. 2 have been released so far, and obviously I am not at the point of stitching those yet. So I'm going to do black for the border. This is just regular DMC black. I had quite some time ago, I had bought a cone of the DMC 310, and then sometime after that, as I was learning more, I was then realizing that people were saying that the coverage on 310 is not as great as with some other black flosses, and I do wish that the coverage was a little bit better on here, because this is a 40 count lunar linen from Bestitch Me, so I'm doing 1 strand over 2, and so I wish the coverage was a bit better, but I have a whole cone of DMC, and I'm not going to buy more regular black floss when I have a whole cone to go through. It's good enough, and that's what I'm going to use. So the other colors are what I'm trying to decide on. What I'm thinking, and I'm not sure yet, but the cottage garden threads that I had gotten, I had those really bright colored ones, and I wanted to do them something where it was colorful on gray, and I had thought like an ink circles one. But I don't know, maybe I would want to use it for this. I'm just not certain yet. And part of it is I'm looking at the number of bands. Okay, let me see if I can hold these all up here. So these are some of the, here, try and hold these all up. We've got those, so it's kind of bright, rainbowy colors. And I thought, well, maybe I could use like kind of one color for each band, but I'm trying to decide how I would do it with the number of colors. And then there's also their sort of rainbow color, which is not quite, I don't know whether or not I would want to use this with these. I don't know. I'm on the fence where, you know, with the number of colors I have here, if I want to use all of these or maybe work some others in to try and make it work for the number of bands that are in that sampler. I'm undecided, but I figured that a black border will go with whatever I decide to put inside. And so whether it's this or whether I end up going some other route, working on the border at least gets me progress and time to figure out what I want to do in that area. And I imagine by the time I'm ready to start in on those bands, probably another one or two or more will have you know, come out, and then I'll be able to see more of the pattern and have a better gauge for where I want to go. So that's what I'm thinking about with this. Like I said, I've got lots of other things that I would like to stitch. I've tried. The other day I sat down and went through floss and fabric and was picking out stuff that either I already had a plan for or stuff that I wanted to use together, and was putting stuff into project bags so that I would have it there ready to go, and like I said, hoping to get into actually making a start on some more things that I would like to start. The other thing I want to work on some more is the strawberry bird one. I haven't really touched it, I think, since the last time recorded, but I do have those areas where I had worked on the vines and I have fill-in to do on the leaves, so maybe I can make some progress with the fill-in over this next little bit as something where I can just sit down and do some stitching that's more sort of zoned out than having to, you know, kind of actively be counting things. But yeah, I'm hoping for the focus now being more on stitching stuff that is for me and that I'm excited about. Oh, the other thing that I have signed up for is the Lindy Stitches Endangered Species subscription for next year. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. I have a vague idea or thought about what I might want to do with those patterns, because I don't imagine that I will be, you know, framing them and putting them on the wall. I mean, the first pattern's very, you know, cute, and it's stuff that looks like it'd be fun to stitch. I just don't know that I'm going to put them up on my wall here, but I have, I don't know, thoughts about how I might want to put those together in some way. But as that kind of comes together a little more, maybe after I, you know, kind of see more of the patterns and come to more decisions, maybe I'll share more about that. But I have some ideas percolating. I'm just, it's not fully solidified yet, but there are thoughts. Let's see. Tea. Let's see. I haven't been having a whole lot in the way of tea recently. It's mostly just been, you know, maybe tossing some, you know, bagged tea in a mug. You know, when I have tea, doing it. But I think tonight, now that I am done for work for the week, and I have, you know, a few days off for Christmas, that maybe tonight I will sit down and actually take some time to brew some, you know, sit down and brew some loose leaf tea. I'm not sure what I'm gonna have yet, but I would like to I would like to sit in and do that and just sort of relax a bit more. Let's see. I think that may be it. I know I wanted to usually show off what I'd done, show the blankets so I can get stuff wrapped up. But like I said, since I haven't done a whole lot of, stitching, or rather, I've done stitching, but most of it was in finishing up, stitchers for piece, and so I didn't have too many different projects to show, but we'll see. With a whip parade in the works going forward, I should have a longer video on somewhere on the horizon. So yeah, I am looking forward to having some time with family, a small family gathering for Christmas, although we're not going to do it on Christmas this year, as even though it's a small family gathering, we've got I think my battery just died. All right, my camera battery died, so I'm gonna try and record the last little bit of this. I was talking about how for the holidays it's just going to be a very small family gathering this year, and in the past, years ago, when I lived at home, we used to do just our immediate family doing our exchange of gifts with each other on Christmas Eve, and then my parents would kind of host more extended family on Christmas Day itself. But as the years have gone on and family is smaller now, what we do, sort of changes, in particular these last few years. It's always trying to figure out what we're going to do this year. We are going to do our gathering on Christmas Eve, just because of where Christmas falls this year, and not everybody has the day after Christmas off, and since people are even though it's a small gathering of folks, kind of traveling a little ways to get here, so we decided it would be easier to do it on Christmas Eve, when there's still the next day off for folks to kind of recuperate. So that's what we are planning to do. So I hope that whatever your holiday celebrations either were or will be this year, that they are enjoyable, and I hope that your New Year goes well as well. And I'm again hoping that early in the new year will be that whip parade. So that's what my plan is for the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in 2 weeks. All right, bye.